John Toal on BBC Radio Ulster.
Now, 12 minutes to 12 o'clock, BBC Radio Ulster. We have Nuala McKeever still with us, we have Paul McFetridge still with us, and Dominic Montague from Kibosh Theatre Company. And we also have Daniella. I'm getting my Diana. You'll see why I'm getting Diana's and Daniela's mixed up, because Daniella Timperley is 18. She's from Randallstown, County Antrim, and she's been working to raise awareness about domestic violence, and she was chosen as one of the faces of the Diana Award. And the Diana Award people are looking for nominations for young people in your community who have made a significant difference in some way. And Daniella received her Diana Award in November after you'd been volunteering at Women's Aid in Ballymena. So why, of all the places you could have gone and done work, why did you choose to go and work in Women's Aid?
For ages, I wanted to be a social worker. So I chose like health and social care and moving image art as my subjects. I was always torn between sort of social work and something creative. Like I always had a passion for something creative. I had like dreams of being a fashion designer, writer, like all these different crazy things. But I had a passion for just helping people and like social work and volunteering. And I went to do work experience with Women's Aid, and one of the tasks was going in the refuge and meeting like the women and children who lived there, and I guess hearing their stories and just meeting them. And we got to like just take the children out for the day and take them to soft play areas to kind of give the mother like a break, because they're not allowed anyone in there, they're not allowed visitors or anything. So that kind of just inspired me, I guess. And from then I went and joined the Voices group in Women's Aid, which is like an educational group. So we did like OCN accreditations on domestic violence, mental health, self-esteem, understanding risks. And from there we wanted to just raise awareness and get the message out there, because it's not really something you hear like about. It's not talked about in schools. So we made films. The first one was called Domestic Violence Education.
And this tied together the two things that you were most interested in, which was social work and creative moving image. Yeah,
well, this sort of sparked my interest in film. I'd never really thought about doing film or TV before. I always had an interest in like art and creative stuff, but film never really came to mind. So this did really spark my interest in it, and I really loved it after doing it. So we were involved in all like stages of the film. So we did like the script, and our whole group was doing like sound and the camera and directing it, and it was really, really fun to do.
And I've seen it, and it's set in this. There's a couple of films, but this one that I've seen is set in it's a home economics class. So the home economics class is going on. You're sitting in the middle of it all at the bench, and the teacher's kind of saying, right, come on, get this done, get that done, get that done, and everything's happening around you.
Yeah.
But then you see it's the parents that appear behind, and the argument that's happening behind, they're actually in the class, but this is in your head.
Yeah, she's like, remember back, like, you know, there's like people's in the class are like, say like, you know, punching the dough and like making something, and like she's remembering back to like, it could be like the night before, just a memory she has, and then she has like a bruise on her neck, and at the end of it the dad actually comes and like grabs, like, you know, and then it's like it's actually happening, but it's not. It's so it's
a brilliant film. It's really, and I mean, you can see it on YouTube. It's Fixers. The channel is called Fixers, and that particular film is called
Domestic Violence Education.
Domestic Violence Education.
Yes. There's also another one on Course of Control. So it's like about emotional abuse and why it's just as bad as physical abuse. So, and
this is not, I mean, some people get involved with this and do a bit and do their week or their fortnight or whatever and think, right, that's great, get on and move on. But this is actually something you're genuinely interested in, you want to follow up with.
Yes, definitely. I am on the BBC Children Need Youth panel as well, and I represent Women's Aid on the panels. So basically, like, we meet every couple of months and talk about why like our projects are so important and why they should keep getting funding. And Women's Aid got the highest grant from Children in Need last year from all the charities. And basically, like, I go to the appeal night every year and volunteer in the BBC Broadcasting House of the Black Staff. There's always something going on, and I really love getting involved with that. I've been involved with that for 4 years now, so I really love that.
And do you think young people get a raw deal whenever older people kind of go, oh, young people today, all they're doing is looking into their phones and they're not doing this and they're not taking part in this and they're not. And actually, there are young people out there who are getting very involved and concerned and looking around the world that they see and how they can fix it and how they can make it a better place.
Yeah, it's amazing. I went to the Primerica Spirit of Community Awards last year in the Aviva Stadium, and I got to meet 20 honorees that are doing amazing things all around Ireland. And from then, I went to the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards in Washington DC, and there was 2 honorees from every single state in America, and also Japan, Brazil, South Korea, Taiwan. And I got to meet all these people who are doing amazing things in their community, and it was so inspiring, like seeing what they do, and it was just fantastic.
So is the dream still the same then? For you, is the dream still to be a social worker who makes films?
No, not really. I really want to go on and do producing now, but keep the volunteering as part of my life. I really want to do that, and I think creating a platform in creative industry can still raise awareness about that and still keep that volunteering aspect as well.
And it's a huge part of, here you're at a table with a load of people in the arts, a lot of people bringing their personal experience to the stage, people bringing other people's experiences, stuff that we need to know. Socially aware kind of theatre makes a difference to people. Paula McFadden's
yeah, because there's no point in us solely doing plays and telling stories back to people that experience them or own them. It's about how you reshape something creatively and actually then bring it to people that have never heard that story before. There was a fantastic arts project done by Women's Aid in the Black Box about 4 weeks ago, written by a young playwright, Julie de Bevniks, and incredible piece of theatre about violence that they have toured into schools and stuff. And it is, how you represent those voices and how you humanise those who have been victims but also oppressors. How we put faces to people, And
in terms of the Diana Awards, because nominations are now open for young people aged 9 to 25. Deadline is the 29th of March, and you go to diana-award.org.uk, and that's just Google Diana Awards, diana-award.org.uk. Between 9 and 25, if there's someone in your community, in a sentence, what would you say to somebody to if they were thinking of nominating somebody or putting somebody forward for this, Daniella?
I think anybody who's doing something good for their community, just go for it. Anything could happen. So.
Well, listen, keep it up. Keep up the filmmaking.
Yeah, you're amazing.
You're great.
And as I said, look out for that film on YouTube. It's called Domestic Violence Education. And then Daniella is the star of it. Thanks a million.
John Toal on BBC Radio Ulster.